It's alright.
Oh my god!
Yo guys, what is up? Moxsy on Borderlands 3 video, and today we are going over Expedite. Now, this is an augment that is super important to Amara and did not work for the longest time. As of like a week or two ago, it now works in the most recent patch, and it opens up so many build possibilities for Amara, and it synergizes with so many things. This reads whenever Amara kills an enemy with her action skill, she gains increased action skill cooldown rate. Now, this works for anything that does action skill damage, and there's a lot of things that do action skill damage in Borderlands 3 that we can make some crazy builds with ridiculous cooldown and a true like action skill spam that kind of Amara always has wanted to be, but like never really could. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. We're going to be doing quite a deep dive today. Let's get right into it. So to start this video, we're going to do a general demonstration of what it looks like using Expedite versus not using Expedite, and then we'll get into some of the crazy setups that can benefit from this that really could not before. So we are on a Ties That Bind. This is Chaos Queen. Just put 5 more points into Trust Yourself to get into Expedite, which I think is going to be really important for a lot of builds. I'm not wearing a class mod. I've got no other cooldown on, and I have Guardian rank disabled, and we're on a fresh start. So we've no like skill tree respec cooldown. So just off of base, let's change this to be Soul Sap. Let's gather up some Skagos. So Grasp. Boom. That's a lot of them. Killed a few. Let's wait for our action skill, and now this is our cooldown. And remember, this is without Expedite. And we all know how crazy Amara's action skills are. Ties That Bind is one of the strongest action skills in the entire game. We don't talk about Iron Bear. But like being able to use this and use this often is so important. And once again, this is just a basic setup, but now let's put on Expedite, group up these enemies, shoot, and now let's wait for this cooldown and show you guys the difference. That is crazy. That is actually crazy. So yeah, Expedite is insane, and it opens up a lot of build possibilities for Amara. To start us off, just one thing that I want to mention is the Berserker has been like the meta class mod on Amara because Amara needs to use her action skill. She needs to use Ties That Bind. There's so many damage bonuses that Amara benefits from, like ASE damage bonuses that Amara benefits from, that you just need to be using action skills. And so Berserker's been the meta for a really long time, but with this, it opens up so many possibilities because, as you just saw, I had a 5-second cooldown, not even wearing a Berserker. So you can wear a lot more different things, and I want to go over some of the coolest setups with this right now. All right, so huge brownie points if you remember this build. This is Death Grasp Amara, a build I made a while ago that uses the Anoint. After phase grasping an enemy, Amara fires Terror Skulls at the grasp target, dealing 61k base damage. We pair that with the Revolter with an action skill start Anoint, and a Guardian Angel with the While Terrified deals 75% crowd damage. Now, the reason I wanted to show you this build with Expedite is for 2 reasons. First off, we are using the action skill Eternal Fist. Now, Eternal Fist is going to grab a target, and if we kill them, it's going to go grab another target. Now, this duration of this action skill, any enemy that we kill during it is going to build up our cooldown up to 4 times. So if we kill every enemy that is grasped in Eternal Fist, 4 targets, we're going to get 4 times 45% cooldown, which will immediately then go to giving us cooldown for using our next action skill, which is crazy. That's going to give us a ridiculous amount of cooldown. The other thing that's insane is these Terror Skulls actually do action skill damage and count for Expedite, meaning that if these Terror Skulls start grasping enemies and killing them, and I kill 4 enemies or 1 enemy or however many, I'm going to be stacking up cooldown with Expedite. Also, the reason I say 45 is because we're using Ascendant, which is going to give us plus 15% Expedite action skill cooldown. But I want to show you guys this because it's really cool. And a lot of these like more like niche builds that use alternative sources of damage and main damage builds from Amara, literally everything benefits from Expedite. It's so good. So we're gonna kill that guy, hopefully grasp this guy. We only got 2 there, and we had like a 4-second cooldown. All right, so we're gonna do a little comparison. I'm gonna use my action skill and not kill anything. So we'll do a grasp here. Oh, I guess I am gonna kill him, huh? Oh, you know, he didn't die. Okay, I wasn't holding Guardian Angel, so he didn't die. All right, so this is our cooldown currently. This is our cooldown without Expedite, without Terror Skulls. note. All right. Now let's get some terror. Grasp you. See how many kills we can get. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. Look at my cooldown. So for these like niche little builds, Expedite is incredible. And for like main damage builds, Amara too. But yeah, this is how it works on like a Terra Grass build. Now there are a lot of other cool things that we could use to do action skill damage, and let's go talk about those now. All right, so this is where it's gonna get a little bit absurd. Now we are now on a build called Amara Get It. If some of you may remember it, it is using the Pestilence and the Novas that the Pestilence does to just kind of like run around and nuke everything. And these Pestilence Novas on reload break do freaking action skill damage. So you can run around spamming these Novas and we can get ridiculous cooldown as long as we're killing things. It's silly. I know this is a little blurry. I'm sorry. We'll switch builds in a second. But yeah, the Pestilence Novas count as action skill damage and will then feed us more cooldown for more ability use and make this build even stronger than it normally would be. In addition to those other crazy things, Body and Mind also counts as action skill damage, and so does Free the Soul. So when you're using, currently I am on Blade Witch using the Blade Fury. Just want to demonstrate this for y'all real quick. But this, when you kill an enemy and you start getting those like splash procs of Body and Mind that do that, that all counts as action skill damage. And if it kills someone, it's going to give you even more cooldown. Plus, if you're using Cryo, you're going to be getting Free the Soul, which will then kill more enemies and give you more action skill. But a melee build is some of the like highest benefit from Expedite Fix, just because like as long as you're killing things, your cooldown is going to be absolutely insane. Plus, you can also benefit from Combo Breaker to just totally reset your cooldown, which is really, really cool. So Body and Mind also works. Free the Soul works. Remnant counts as action skill damage and will give you Expedite. All the action skills in Amara's tree will count for action skill damage, except for Downfall. Downfall does not work. Don't ask me why. And the last thing I wanted to mention about this is that this just frees up so much diversity for Amara's class mods. It's been for a long time a Phazerker meta if you want to use guns. If you want to use guns in order to have the cooldown that you need to efficiently mob and efficiently keep proccing Ties That Bind and killing enemies quickly, you kind of needed to use the Phazerker. Now, mods that give a little bit more damage, like the Spiritual Driver, are super good. The Death's Blessings in our class mod that comes to mind. The Kensei. The Kensei's only get 6 seconds of damage after using your action skill, which makes it really difficult to use because that includes the cast time of the action skill, giving you like 4 seconds or 4.5 seconds to really like use the Kensei damage. But now if your action skill, you can spam it so much, you can get off Kensei so much. There's so many class mods that Amara has that just like haven't really been relevant because they can't keep up with the Phazerker and the fact that it just mobs so fast. So if you are an Amara player and you've been stuck using the Phazerker and you want to try something new, I really do suggest giving some things that you haven't tried a go, because I promise you they'll be a lot more viable if you're using Expedite and you're using some of the things that I mentioned here to proc action skill cooldown. Of course, obviously Ties That Bind works, but there's a lot of interesting ways to do this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Real quick before we end, I am working on a video of the 10 things that you still didn't know about Borderlands 3. So if you guys have some cool information or something that you recently discovered or something you think most people don't know that maybe you do, drop a comment and let me know so I can start working on that list. I hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. Peace.